and probably in a lot of areas, but that being one of them, I'm sure.
Let's go to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, good morning, Coach. I was curious with the quarterbacks here. You guys were able to lock up Pat. They recently were able to lock up Deshaun. Just how fortunate is the league to have these two guys and really get to see them on the opening night?
I think it's great. I'm happy for Sean for the opportunity that he has to make a living. You can see the response of his family and how they felt there, and likewise with Patrick. So I think it's great for the National Football League. Individually, it's great for them and their teams, but also for the league. We're blessed right now to have a transition of these young quarterbacks that are coming in, and it makes they're fun to watch. So I think it's great for the game.
We've got time for a couple more guys. We're going to go Vahe and then Sarin. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy. Can you hear me okay?
I can, Vahe. Yeah.
Good to see you. Hey, last year is well behind us, I know, but the three comebacks in the playoffs were all their own stories. But I wonder what you'd say about what you think the common denominators in that were, and if you feel like there's a cultural carryover in the sense of all the continuity you have, that kind of fortitude is part of this team.
Yeah, well, you never want to put yourself in that position, but if you are, I have the confidence our guys will keep banging until we get it right. So I think they have that confidence within themselves to do that. But we're going to try not to put ourselves in that position, obviously. So
let's go to Sarin to close us out. Go ahead, Sarin.
Coach Madison said last week in reference to any kind of organized demonstration by the players that everybody would be involved. That the team would do everything as one, and he kind of pointed towards your leadership on that. We're now on the eve of the game. Have you had conversations with the players about what kind of demonstration they will do? I've been told that the NFLPA, there's going to be demonstrations across the league. Will you, in fact, be part of that demonstration, whatever the players choose to do? Will the coaching staff be a part of that?
Oh, we'll see how it goes. Just as it all works out as we go forward. But I think from my standpoint, and I think our coach's standpoint and players' standpoint, where our heart is and how we feel. And I'm so proud of our guys for actually getting out and doing, and the way they've handled it. So I will trust in them, and as I think they do the coaches. So we'll go from there. We'll see how it all works out on Thursday.
Coach, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
All right, guys, we've got Patrick coming up next. 1 second. Hey, Patrick, we can hear you.
How you doing?
Good. Are you ready for us?
Ready to go.
All right, let's start with Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, how's it going?
Going good. How are you doing?
Good. Obviously, I assume you saw Deshaun and his extension. Do you get the sense that you guys will be battling not just in these sorts of games, but in really big games postseason for the next several years with the way you guys are set up on your franchises?
For sure. I think you saw that with the last year and the year before that. You see Deshaun, and the Texans are a great football team. They have a lot of great talent around him, and he makes a lot of big plays in big games. And so I think I said something to him last year at the end of the game, and that we're going to have these battles for a long time. And we're two opponents in the same division. I mean, same conference with AFC. So I'm sure I'll play a lot of games against them.
Let's go to Blair Kirchhoff. Go ahead, Blair.
Hey, Patrick, if I'm not mistaken, your first game in the Chiefs uniform was at one of these Thursday night kickoff games, and you got to see the Chiefs offense sort of in its full effect. I'm just wondering what your impressions were that night, and is this the type of game that a player like Clyde Edwards-Helaire might be able to take advantage of?
Yeah, I mean, I think every single game you go in with the mentality, especially with our offense, that someone can really go out there and have a big game. And Clyde's definitely one of those guys. He's someone that seems like he always plays good. At least in college, he always played good. And whenever the big games came, he played better. And so we're going to go out there with a mentality that we're playing against a really good football team, a really good defense. We're going to try to find a way to win a football game.
Let's go to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Patrick. Welcome to Game Week. You've known Deshaun for years now, particularly at quarterback camps and obviously watching each other in college. Just how exciting is it for you to know that the league sort of put this matchup in front of the American people as the first game this season, knowing the two of you guys, like you said, are going to be competing against one another for perhaps a decade or so?
Yeah, I mean, it's very exciting. Be the first game of the year, all this anticipation, but at the same time, it's just we're playing a football game, and I think it's all the hard work that me and Deshaun, and knowing how he works, have put in to be in this situation, to go out there with our teammates and try to win a football game. And so I'm just excited for the opportunity to go out there on a nationally televised game and get to play at Arrowhead Stadium.
Go to Michelle Steele. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hey, Patrick. Happy Sunday. I just wanted to ask about the Run It Back tour. How do your emotions compare week one this year compared to last year ahead of the season, now that you've been to the mountaintop and you've got that Super Bowl ring?
I'm just as excited. I promise you that. I mean, every time I get to go to the football field, go to Arrowhead Stadium or whatever field we're playing at, and get to suit up and play for the Kansas City Chiefs, I have ultimate excitement, no matter if it's preseason or if it's in the Super Bowl. So I promise you I'll have that mentality going into this first game.
Let's go to Sarin Petra. Go ahead, Sarin.
Patrick, Coach Madison said last week that if the players, and there's reports out there that the players are going to have a demonstration league-wide before the games. Coach Madison said that everybody would be in unison. And when I pressed him about the coaching staff, he said the coaching staff as well, whatever you guys decide to do. Number one, do you know what you're going to do? And is everybody, do you feel that the organization, the top down, from Clark on down, is a part of whatever it is you, the players, are going to do?
Yeah, I think we have a great organization that way, where I've had talks with Clark, with Mark, Donovan, Coach Reid, and all these coaches and guys, and we've had a lot of discussions, and I'm sure there'll be something fully planned. We haven't exactly got the exact details on that yet, but we'll do something, like you said, in unison, something together to show our support for everybody out there that's going out there and doesn't have the platform that we have.
Let's go to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Pat, as one of the leaders on the team, just wanted to get your sense. Are guys done looking back? I mean, between banner raisings and ring ceremonies and all that, I mean, do you feel like guys are focused where they need to be right now?
I think so. I mean, we're in game week now. Everybody's ready to go. You can feel the intensity. You can feel that mentality. I think everybody's at the point now we're just ready to play football again. I mean, we had that great year last year, but that's last year. We're a brand new football team. The Texans are a brand new football team. We're going to go out there and get to compete against one of the best in the first week.
Go to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Pat, oddly enough, with no preseason game, the last time we saw you in a game setting was the Super Bowl. So just through training camp, through the offseason and whatnot, where do you feel like maybe you've been able to improve and will be able to display on Thursday night?
I think you're just going to see me being able to make adjustments quickly. I mean, going into a game like this, obviously we played Texans at the end of last year, but they have a whole offseason to prepare, especially for us being that first game. And so you don't know what to expect all the way. I mean, you have to try to expect the unexpected, and that's what we're going to try to do and have game plans for everything. And I'm going to try to make those adjustments as quickly as possible so we can get off to a fast start, hopefully.
Let's go to Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Patrick. You've done an admirable thing by embracing the platform you have, but I'm curious if any part of that is heavy, just emotionally, in terms of whether you get concerned about alienating some people, or you just can cruise through with your conscience and just go that way.
I think it's just having the right people around me. I think I have a lot of great people around me that believe in me and are going to listen to me and my beliefs no matter what they are. And so I'm just going to trust in those people. And always, if I have the respect of those people, I think I'll be good with anything else going on in the world.
Got time for a couple more here, guys. Let's go Matt and then Steve. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Patrick, you talked about just as far as getting ready for a game like this and without there being any preseason games to go off with Houston, you have 2 games last year. What did you really learn from that first game to the second game that helped you guys? And when you have that kind of a situation where you go back and you look at a game that you won versus a game that you lost, how much more do you look at that game that you lost on film to apply for this year?
I think you look at everything. You look at everything that they've done last season and even years past that they played against us, and you try to formulate a game plan. But I think you see some differences between the first game and the second game. We played them last year, so we just executed on the opportunities that we do have. When you play a good defense like this, there are going to be very few opportunities. So when you do have them, you have to make sure you execute. And I think that's what you saw in the playoffs is guys started stepping up, making big plays, and right when their opportunity came. And so I'm just excited for the opportunity to go out there again, play against a great defense, and try to find a way to win.
Steve Walls to close this out. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Patrick, how's it going? Hey, with everything that's happened in the offseason and what it took for not only your team, but all the teams across the league to get to this point to be able to play games, I'm just curious, what would that first snap be like on Thursday night? I know some athletes use the technique of closing their eyes and try to simulate, game-like situations in their head, but have you been able to do that at all, or will you plan to do that?
I've always done the visualization part of it, and really just like thinking about the game before you play it and do that different type of stuff. I've done that since I was at a little age. But at the same time, I'm just going to go out there and embrace the moment. I mean, that we're having this opportunity to play, that we're getting to go out there with our brothers and play the sport that we love because you didn't know if it was going to happen. And so I'm excited for the opportunity to get out there, be on the field, and play the game that I love.
Patrick, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, hang tight. We've got Trav coming up next. There we are. Oh, there we are. Hey, Trev. You ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm ready to roll.
All right. Let's start with Darren Smith. Go ahead, Darren.
Yes. First of all, Travis, thank you very much for doing this, and good luck to you this week. One, your thoughts on seeing the ring for the first time, and then two, I'm sorry, I'm not on here. Two, the Black Lives Matter murals that were across the city. One of them was on the same block as the Operation Breakthrough. Your overall thoughts on the 6 murals that were painted? Have you had a chance to see any of them, and do you plan on seeing any of them this week?
I got to see one up close and personal this morning on my way into work. There's one just in North Kansas City, and it's a beautiful mural. I saw everybody out there, not only one supporting the movement, but doing something beautiful for the community. And it's awesome when you get the community to come together, especially for a great cause, and or especially for change. And to answer your other question, the ring is beautiful, man. I can't thank the Hunt family enough for doing such a great job and making sure that every player's ring was unique to them, and making sure that it definitely represents unity amongst the team.
Let's go to Harold Koontz. Go ahead, Harold.
Hey, Travis. First things first, getting that $50 grand you announced earlier for Operation Breakthrough for the Ignition Lab. Just how much does that mean to get that big project started underway? And then also, you're going into a 16,000 seat stadium basically Thursday. Just your thoughts on the overall crowd experience and how you feel that's going to play out on Thursday night.
I'm just excited to get in the Arrowhead and play in front of somebody, man. It's been a little quiet during practices. Usually we have everybody kind of bringing the energy out in St. Joe. So it's definitely been a different process leading up to week one, but everybody's pretty excited just to get out there, put the pads on, put the Chiefs jersey on that everybody knows so well, and just go out there and play for each other. And on top of that, 87 and running my foundation, the Ignition Lab that we're helping with Operation Breakthrough for the teams over at Operation Breakthrough. It's just exciting, and right now I'm actually teaming up with Pepsi for a T-shirt on my under my True Colors fashion brand. So my fashion brand, True Colors, TRU Colors with a K. We're teaming up with Pepsi to benefit 87 and running, which will then benefit the Ignition Lab. And we're selling T-shirts, greetings from True Colors. So definitely expect that soon on my social media.
Let's go to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Travis. I wanted to ask you about Clyde. You've seen him through all of camp. You've seen how he sort of adjusted to the playbook. Just how eager are you to watch him Thursday? And just what do you think that experience is going to be like for him because of no preseason games?
Clyde has done an unbelievable job of coming in and just giving his effort, giving his concentration, giving everything you need as a rookie to succeed. And that's and he's got a great leadership in that room, not only with the players but Coach Dillon as well as obviously Coach Bieniemy overseeing his running backs. And it's just the first game is always going to be built up emotion, and then you're going to have the stage that we're going to be on being the first game of the year. So we're going to see how he reacts to being in the big moment early. But I think he's definitely been there before playing a national championship. That'll get you ready for just about anything, I would assume. So we're excited for him, that's for sure.
Let's go to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Travis, you've been here for the entire Andy Reid regime, and he's always talking about adding things to the offense, right? I know the concepts and the base of it stay the same, but you got 4 tight ends on the roster. You know, how much, like, can you put a percentage on it for the fans? Like, how much of what we're going to see you guys out there is quote unquote new stuff, right? It's something that you guys haven't done from year to year. How much does Andy Reid actually add to this offense?
It's tricky to say what's new and what's not new, because obviously it's no secret what Coach Reid does is he puts guys in different positions on the field to succeed, and maximizes their strengths, which is why he's such an unbelievable, offensive mind. And so you just try and lock in on what's new throughout the play and where you are and things like that, and you just roll with it, man. You have fun with it.
Go to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, what's up, Trav? How you doing?
All right now, Steve.
Hey, over the course of last season, it seems like you guys are at your best when you're having fun. Do you feel like you guys are able to pick up where you left off last year, and do you feel like there'll be hiccups, or will that all be expected?
Well, I think it's a different approach to the first game, like I mentioned earlier. So it's going to be just a little bit of a different feel, but I do believe we got the leaders and the guys that's out here to make plays to give that feeling of we're still the same team. We're just working harder and trying to do more. And you know what? A lot of guys are going to go out there with a lot of emotion. It's going to be a fun game. I can already tell just by how things are gearing up here in the office. But we're just going to have to keep our composure and just play for each other and do our thing. And I'm pretty sure you'll see the Kansas City Chiefs for last year.
All right, guys, we've got time for one more. Let's go to Herbie to close us out. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Travis, specific to the tight ends room, obviously Nick Keiser making the 53, pretty much like a Cinderella story, so to speak, coming from last year from the practice squad to what he is now. How much has he been in your ear this offseason, and how much do you think he benefited from a lot of your mentorship?
Well, we got an open dialogue in the tight end room. Everybody's there trying to pick the brain of each other. Like, what were you thinking on these sort of certain plays? And you know what? It's been awesome kind of growing as a group, because I'm still learning from a lot of what everybody else says. I'm nonstop trying to take in all the information I can. And Coach Melvin does an unbelievable job of kind of keeping control of the room in that regard. And we all are getting better, as you can see throughout training camp. Kaiser's gotten a lot better. We're going to get Dion back here if he's not already fully back. He's definitely out there working his tail off to get back out there. And then obviously Ricky's doing his thing, and he's one heck of an athlete out there on the football field, and definitely trying to utilize his talents as well.
Travis, we appreciate your time today. Thank you, sir.
All right, guys, have a good one.
You too. All right, guys, I'm going to hit the button here to allow yourselves to